SummerSlam. I mean, what the hell,
What did you guys think of AEW 200 last night?
Well, look at you with all the hype ahead of the friggin' pay-per-view, even after AEW Dynamite. Again, guys, there's so much going on in friggin' wrestling. We could be here all night. We're not going to try and be that here. But 2 years later, the gang is back. We're just waiting for one more man. We know that he's coming in. So let's go ahead and shoot the breeze as we once again bring hype to the latest things to come out of professional wrestling and sports entertainment. Chris, Jeff, good to see you. I decided to do this out of nowhere because why the hell not? It's my show. It's my channel. It's the simple brand. We are the Four Horsemen of Predictions. Mark, we'll see you here in a moment, man. You're perfectly fine. We're just shooting the shit. So to anybody that's in the chat, welcome, as we are just three simple, you can call us wise men if you want, talking about, analyzing, discussing, and previewing SummerSlam, along with some other stuff. So to Chris's point, as I open up, I loved it. The fact that I got to call that shit just makes me so much enjoy this more. To be enthralled with what's going on is the reason why we are fans of this in the first place, in every form. Whether you run Meltdown, whether you predict everything, whether you create a team for everything, it doesn't matter because we look at all things and we predict all things. And we're back, bitches, after 2 years. Guys, put it up. It's been a long damn time.
That's right.
The Horsemen of Predictions are back. And boy, is it good to see y'all's faces here. Mark, Jeff, Chris, man, guys, it's been a while. Mark, let's start with you, man, first, because I haven't seen your face for the longest. How you been, bruv?
I'm good. I'm really tired. So if you look up and I'm over here falling asleep, I apologize now.
You're good.
But I had a long day. I just gotta have a hot shower, and I could probably go to sleep right now.
Hey, man, I mean, before you know it, you'll just be, GTSing, and we'll see if Shayna Baszler does that with Ronda Rousey under MMA rules, which is, I know, something we'll definitely discuss. Again, this is going to be a spectacle of international fronts. Speaking of international, intercontinental, however you want to phrase it, of course, we have the Intercontinental Championship on the line, and the man that will definitely spear that head first is, of course, creator of Meltdown, the commish of MWL, not to be confused with MLW, and hello, JJ, appreciate you. Jeff Chadwick, good to see you again, man. It's been a moment since I've seen you on this platform. How are you?
Oh, yeah, it's been good. I've been fine. I've just been busy. Life in general, work, the whole 9 yards. You know how that is. Family comes first. That's always a priority. So I'm glad to finally be back here on your show. And I am geared up, no pun intended, for SummerSlam in Detroit. I'm ready to talk about this, man.
Well, whether you go full throttle, we kick into high gear, or we slam into Ford Field fast and furious, the hype is certainly real for the biggest party of the summer, to say the least. That, again, I'll be going to live, and I'm nervous and excited both at the same time. Speaking of whether he's nervous, excited, but he's always got a positive mind. It's always great to see Christopher Rod's part of the family, of course. You started this whole idea in the first place and this league to begin with, too. Chris, how are you?
Well, I'm doing good. I am looking forward on watching SummerSlam on Saturday. It's going to be a really entertaining show. I can't wait to dive on into the predictions. I'm glad that the Four Horsemen is finally back. And I want to say yes to NoDQ.com. And good luck to everybody who's competing this Saturday in the Predictions League for SummerSlam.
Oh, damn right. I mean, what else needs to be said before I say simply this? Gentlemen, again, we've gone now through, believe it or not, 23 different events in some way or capacity, predicting, analyzing, or reacting. And some of us that go beyond that watch Pro Wrestling Noah, NJPW, Stardom, MLW, and everything else in between. Think about this, guys. Think about the events we've gone through this year, through Impact Wrestling, through AEW and Ring of Honor, and, of course, the biggest mecca of them all, WWE and NXT. And now we arrive at the biggest party of the summer. And while we were over the halfway point, it's still anybody's game in this competition that Chris decided to start. But I'm leading all of you right now at 154. Chris, you got 145. Mark, you got 136. You're not in last place, 138. And Jeff, you're at 132 because Impact's been butting the bullet with you.
Hey, I got to say this. I may be last place, but I got the most important job holding you guys up. So that's a lot for me, I'm telling you.
That's fair.
And you know what? That's absolutely fair. Dwayne Atkinson also in the chat. Appreciate you. I want to, of course, as we also are not only the Horsemen of Predictions, we're part of the City Predicting family. And again, thank you, JJ, for reminding people I don't market myself. Why everybody else markets me? I don't understand that. But seriously, all right? I'm just a humble, simple man that just enjoys life and enjoys professional wrestling and encourage y'all to do the same. Simple as that. But again, as you all alluded to, the forum is live. I expect all of y'all's picks because Saturday, I'm not going to be checking with anybody. That includes everybody in the nebula of No DQ Gals and Beyond too, whether you are Ashley, Charlene, Kimberly, my brothers in ATW, my brothers in FTW, the team of No DQ, the family of Open Mic Night, and the Jeff Beach Network Multiverse of Media too. I could go on and on. Get those predictions in because Aaron Riff did add bonus points regarding my bank crashes, which we'll talk about here too. And you guys got till 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Saturday night to finalize because once I'm in my seat at that building and the clock hits 7, that forum is closed. But that being said, again, you guys have plenty of time for that. I'm sure we'll definitely have reasons that you all will probably redo it or update me like, no, can you change this pick? Because I know what you all do. But without further ado, guys, again, it's an absolute pleasure to be back with you. But you know why right here. Let's time to get right into it. So with that being said, folks, welcome to this little preview of Cindy Predicting exhibition exclusively for the Horsemen of Predictions is what we are. You have the Simple Man, you have the Meltdown Founder, you have the All Elite Man, and of course you have the All-Around Fan. And we are here to give our simple intro, preview, takeaways, and predictions. Solely, I'm not saying anything regarding anybody's form picks at all because I haven't looked at them myself. Of what we believe is going to happen at SummerSlam, as we do have 8 matches. Well, technically, you have 7 matches and a Battle Royal, since apparently they got a sponsorship with Slim Jim. So why don't we go ahead and get right into the conversation? And Mark, man, it's been a long damn time. Let's go ahead and kick things off with you. Why don't you talk about this first match, which I think is going to be a fitting opener, considering one person apparently has a sensitive schedule. As for the first time ever, Logan Paul goes one-on-one with Ricochet, where what we saw Monday Night Raw, yes, I watched highlight, folks. He basically said the only thing that's going to matter is after this match, Savannah Irvin's going to say, your winner, Logan Paul. Now, Logan Paul's track record is not that great when it comes to big shows. Lost Royal Rumble, lost Crown Jewel, lost WrestleMania, lost Money in the Bank. I don't think he's actually won a premium live event since last year's SummerSlam. So, Mark, does history repeat?
I think so. I think this match right here could actually steal the show. I know that sounds crazy. Logan Paul at SummerSlam could steal the show, but honestly, with these two competitors in the ring, I think we're in for a ride, and I think you all feel the same way. I think Logan definitely gets the win here, but it wouldn't hurt if Ricochet won either, because I mean, Logan Paul usually ends up making his name in the loss, clearly, because I mean, whether it's a big spot or how well he's done, he makes his name other ways. I don't think Logan needs the win, but I think it might be time for him to need a win. I think he gets it here.
That's fair enough. We're just going to go right around the clock here for this match. Chris, again, Ricochet at this point, I almost wonder what he's done since dropping the Intercontinental Championship to Gunther, which we'll talk about here after this match. But what are your thoughts on Logan Paul and Ricochet? Ricochet said, show me. Logan Paul showed him one lucky punch, and it was lights out. That might be all it takes. Or do we get a DBC collision midair like the Royal Rumble? What's the craziest antic that these two are possibly going to do that they might try to be the show-stealing moment of the night? What's your take, Chris?
Well, my take is this is going to be – I'm going to say this is going to be a banger of a match between Logan Paul and Ricochet. I've been looking forward on this match. They're going to steal the show. And yeah, this is actually going to be the opening match on Saturday. And then after that, Logan Paul will go on his plane or whatever to go
jet, probably
to his private jet to see his brother fight on Saturday night. So this is going to be an entertaining match. We saw what happened at the Royal Rumble earlier this year with that amazing spot. And I was saying to myself, I can't wait for these two to face off each other. And finally, they're taking place at SummerSlam on Saturday. What I saw on Monday that Logan Paul said to Samantha Irving, your fiance is going to announce me as the winner.
Personal.
That is personal. You should never bring someone's fiance into a storyline. What I saw on Monday, I'm going to go with Ricochet to win on Saturday because I personally believe after Ricochet gets this big win, I could see him going up to the War Heavyweight Championship picture someday. And personally, I hope he becomes a main event star one day.
I think he's already proven that when he faced Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia. I'm no longer saying country adapted. I've moved on from that, folks. Carry on, wayward sons. That being said, Jeff, this is a solid thought, though, since Ricochet is a former Intercontinental Champion. In fact, he was the former Intercontinental Champion before Gunther started his triumphant reign, which I know you'll talk about here in a moment. But what if Logan Paul is the man that maybe dethrones the Ring General for the championship? And could this be the first step towards that? Logan Paul and Gunther have yet to engage each other in any capacity. I don't think they even engaged each other during the Royal Rumble. But what's your take on this match?
Well, I like that thought of Gunther versus Logan Paul, but they kind of like to steer away from heel versus heel. And it might be a great match, but I mean, I personally wouldn't get behind it. If Logan was face, absolutely, I could see that. But with heel versus heel, I it's hard to see that. As far as this match goes, I've got to give it to Ricochet. With what happened Monday, I think that Ricochet is going into this match a little bit more pissed off than he already was. I don't think you're going to hear Samantha Irving saying your winner, Logan Paul. You're going to see Samantha Irving saying your winner, Ricochet. Bottom line on that.
All right, fair enough. Well, we got one Ricochet and two Logan Pauls. The way I see it, though, again, when it comes to WWE, they love to give that. Yes, Mark?
I think I was Logan Paul. But go ahead.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I remember you were Logan Paul. That's why I was just making sure I got it right. Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Paul, Ricochet. Oh, you're good, bro. Because I do look at it like this. Logan Paul, again, the track record. He hasn't won since last year's SummerSlam. Put us in a different dynamic. John Cena, your boy, Chris. One of the worst records in SummerSlam history. But he does usually have a moment, usually have a match. What if Logan Paul's the opposite of that? After one SummerSlam coming out victorious, what if he starts to streak at SummerSlams itself? Thinking about that capacity, and I do think that the idea of Logan Paul versus Gunther is something there, but Ricochet will clash better with Logan Paul's style here too. Kind of like how Seth Rollins Logan Paul really almost, stole what they could at WrestleMania. I think Logan Paul is going to get this win and make this even more personal because you consider the next Premium Live event, guys, is Payback. He's already made it personal with his fiance. What if Logan Paul forces Samantha Irvin to say it with more gusto in victory? And we actually get a personality out of Ricochet because that's what people have been talking about with Ricochet. He doesn't have the promo game. He doesn't have that personality that stands out. He's almost half of what the Cruiserweight division used to be in some people's eyes. And besides having the Intercontinental Championship for a cup of coffee, he's done practically nothing in his main roster run. So again, this Logan Paul feud might give him a new dynamic. So I'm actually going to go with Logan Paul gets the win here by hook and by crook. And let's not forget, he might have a prime mascot at ringside, a.k.a. KSI.
Oh, Jesus.
Just saying. So I'm actually going with Logan Paul. So you're in the minority, bruv.
I usually am.
You know what? Sometimes a wild card's all you need. Consumer in Motor City, the freaking casino's not that far away from Ford Field. I know that for a fact because I got stuck in Detroit downtown traffic on Tuesday in a ride-along. That was absolutely daggone ridiculous. Speaking of daggone ridiculous, you want to kick this thing off because I'm just going to simply say this. I demand all of your gratitude for your reigning, defending Intercontinental Champion, the Ring General, Gunther, going one-on-one for the first time ever in WWE against Drew McIntyre. Jeff, the floor is yours. Your thoughts on this championship match?
Oh my goodness! I think you just took Kaiser's job away from him. I,
You all
this
know how I
match
feel about Ring Conf, Imperium in general, and Gunther.
exactly. Um, my focus in this event, or in any event really, is always around the Intercontinental Champion. That is the championship to me that I have followed ever since we're talking like Ricky Steamboat, Randy Savage era. So I've always been a fan of the Intercontinental Champion, whoever it may be. Um, but most importantly, the fact that they're now bringing this back to be the Workhorse Championship
Yeah,
with
right.
Gunther holding this title. It's something that the company needed to have and hasn't had in such a long time. That is why this match here is the one that I am looking forward to the most. You have Gunther, who's had the title for uh, what, just shy of Pedro Morales's thing. He's Pedro is 424. I think that Gunther's like right around the 420 mark, so he's going to surpass Pedro, which means that obviously my vote is with Gunther. Unfortunately, I would like to see Drew carry it, but to me, Drew having the Intercontinental Championship brings me back to when he first came in the company and won the Intercontinental Championship. I don't think that that's going to happen. I don't. It would kind of be like a repeat, and yeah, he's grown. It's been what, 12 years, but nonetheless, I don't see Drew holding a what I call a mid card title. Now, yes, it is the gateway to the heavyweight championship, and we will see that happen with Gunther going after the heavyweight champion, whichever one he chooses, of course. But that is obviously down the road. But for now, he's going to be surpassing Honky Tonk's record
Damn
at
right.
454. He's going to pass it.
He deserves
Um,
to.
he absolutely he deserves to.
Mhm.
Do I see Logan being the one to take it from him? No, I really don't. And that went back to the last match we talked about. I really don't see him being the one to take it off of him. If anything, it's going to be someone who gets called up from NXT that takes it off of him. And there's a couple people. I mean, we remember the amazing matches he had with Tyler Bate. We remember the amazing match he had with Ilya Dragunov.
Yep.
But there's one other that could be called up when the time is right, like very shortly, that I think would be an excellent match with Gunther, and that's Carmelo Hayes. I think that would be a killer match between the two of them. And if he aligns himself with Bobby Lashley, like the rumors are saying, they're getting the band back together, so to speak, that could be a golden opportunity for the title to be changing hands. But for Saturday, I have Gunther keeping it, and I'm hoping to God that he keeps it. I'm aiming, hopefully, 500 days. That's what I want him to. I want him to hold it 500, and I will be completely happy.
That's a fair take. That's a very fair take. Well, Chris, again, he basically ran Drew McIntyre's history. He was literally brought in as Fisherman's Chosen One. He won the Intercontinental Championship, the older style, which I still prefer, by the way, versus this Progress reincarnation. I don't know about y'all, but I'm always going to be about the classic white leather. But that being said, Chris, what's your thoughts on this Intercontinental Championship match? How many claymores does Gunther take? How many chops does Gunther provide to McIntyre? Do you see Imperium getting involved on behalf of the champion, who more often than not led by example on his own? What's your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts is this is going to be a hard-hitting match.
Damn right.
And person, we saw a little preview of that at WrestleMania earlier this year with Gunther, Sheamus, and McIntyre.
God, I love that match.
They actually tore the house down at WrestleMania. And personally, Gunther is almost close on going to surpass Honky Tonk Man's record. And I think WWE wants him to break that record, and Honky Tonk would not be on top anymore. And personally, Gunther And Gunther, he's been doing an epic job as Intercontinental Championship. I know he stood tall during the Go Home show on Monday, and Drew McIntyre wasn't there because of either with movie commitments that he was doing. So it believes me to say this. I'm going with Gunther to retain the Intercontinental Championship on Saturday. And I do see Imperium attacking McIntyre at the end of the match. Then Matt Riddle is going to show up on Saturday during this match. And then Imperium's going to be attacking Matt Riddle. The numbers game is going to be too much for McIntyre and Matt Riddle to handle. But there's another superstar that I could see coming into this after the match and to set up Gunther's next challenger for the Intercontinental Championship. I have the gut feeling we're going to be hearing voices in our heads this Saturday night. And I have a gut feeling Randy Orton is going to be returning after this match on Saturday.
We've been waiting for the Viper for the longest time, Mark. Again, he is a previous Intercontinental champion, 2004. Hell, he defended against freaking Cactus Jack in one of the damnedest matches we saw back at Backlash. But that being said, we also know the state of his spine. And at this point, I'm not even sure if he ever would truly be clear to compete again, honestly. Why it'd be a cool moment. I don't know if I necessarily would consider him ring condition ready, especially against somebody like Gunther, who again is an orthodox throwback that the industry has not seen for the longest time. But what's your take on this match, Mark? What's your thoughts?
Well, just to touch on the Randy Orton thing real quick, I could almost see if he is cleared or if he is in the possibility of getting cleared, I could see him making an appearance and having a scheduled match for another 5-6 weeks down the line if he's able to. But I mean, he can make an appearance and then be considered back, do promos, this and that, but not get in the ring for another 2 months. But either way, as far as this match goes, I think we could probably put the women and children to bed when it comes to this one. They are going to beat the living hell out of one another, and I think it's going to be really ugly. And I also think that both of them, you can consider them made men already, but I think they're actually might even make their name off this. I think we're going to be talking about Gunther and Drew McIntyre from SummerSlam for a while, but I ultimately think that Gunther will win, but I don't think that this is Drew's story, and this is definitely not Gunther's story. I think Gunther will eventually work his way up to facing, Roman or something like, or Brock or something like that, but I also think that Drew, just similar to what Jeff said, I don't think he's going to be an Intercontinental Champion either. Even though Gunther has raised the quality and the prestige of this title, I think that I think Drew is still a main event player. And a spoiler for my main event, I might be the only one to say this. I think Finn might need some challengers when he becomes champion, and I think Drew could work his way after this match to be maybe a number one contender if he works his way right. So we'll see what happens. But I'm going with Gunther.
Well, that makes 4 people that are unanimous with the mantra, the mat is sacred, because I agree with all of you. Gunther retains too. Again, Drew McIntyre, former WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He previously did challenge it alongside Sheamus in Triple Threat at WrestleMania. It's one-on-one action, but it further raises Gunther's stock, but it's not necessarily his story to tell or finish. For me, this is just one of those matches that you just want to see 2 people beat the living daylights out of each other. And again, with the next premium live event being Payback, it might lead to another Donnybrook of sorts for all we know after they conquered the Brawling Brutes and Imperium one back at last year's Extreme Rules. But what matters right now is the Intercontinental Championship. I've been saying it verbatim, and I'll say it again. I have not felt this importance for the Intercontinental Championship since The Miz held it back in 2016 and literally made it must see. There I said, I respect The Miz. There, respect. But yeah, what Gunther has done with this title, making it not only the workhorse title, it is the strong force title. To beat this man, to beat Gunther, period, you have to out-wrestle him. And why Chad Gable was able to hang with Gunther for 5 minutes, once the time was not a factor, Gunther obliterated the man. But I kind of want to see that now one-on-one for the Intercontinental Championship. either way, we can talk about the Intercontinental Championship all night, but either way, we know that Gunther is going to have a stranglehold on this title.
38.
Jesus.
That will beat Honky Tonk. 38 more days.
There you go.
Just want to say it.
There you go.
He's at 417 right now. So if in 38 days he will surpass it.
Yeah, mark it on your calendar. There you go. And here's a hot take by the Renegade JD Williams, Podcast these studios, folks. Payback, Imperium versus Drew McIntyre Arcade Bro. Well, again, if Chris's thought comes to fruition, could be. But we'll have to wait and see. Because at the end of the day, help is no joke, especially when it comes to the Viper's legacy in WWE. Just saying.
Just a little food for thought. I have heard reports out that they're not pushing Matt Riddle anymore. I mean, one of the reasons why he lost clean to Luke Wickhauser on Monday Night Raw. So I don't know if he's going to be in that position, but we'll see. Hopefully he is,
Well, again, WWE, they eventually will lose faith in the town if they think that they can't either market it or push it forward. And I guess Matt Riddle has burned more than enough bridges and other stuff that might have caused some backstage friction. But again, that's his choice. All right. Well, we talked about legacy. We talked about finishing the story. I've already let two of the Horsemen lead a match. Let's go ahead and mix things up here. Why this is such a thing anymore? Why is this a thing? Multiple main events. What's truly the top match? We all know truly what the top match on this card is. What's truly the most important match? But you got to have literally more than one match marked as a main event. Overkill, general over-marketing, in my opinion, and why the star power is there. Give me a break, all right? The main event is your main event. The main event is surrounding the championship in WWE, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But Chris, you want to go ahead and lead this story. Maybe you can finish at least this chapter of it. By the way, if you have not seen that Cody Rhodes documentary, I highly encourage it.
Yep.
So, Chris, you're on the bubble for this, because let's talk about the first in our trinity of trilogies here, and what's going to be triple dose of main event. Watch. As the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar goes one-on-one once again for the third time against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Here we go again, and I'm not trying to sing White Snake. Chris, you want to leave this thing off? The floor is yours. Your thoughts and your pick towards this match. Does Cody finally put the gatekeeper in his past and close the gate behind him?
White Snake.
Well, my thoughts on this match, I'm looking forward on Cody versus Brock. It's going to be absolutely great. I feel like every single time with this whole entire build towards this match is when Cody and Brock are in the same roof at the same time, it always ends in a beat down by Brock Lesnar. And personally, we haven't had Cody Rhodes got the upper hands on Brock at all. And that sucks in a way, because I would like things to be even out. If you get beat down this week, then the other week, the other person gets try to get beat down, but
the whole 50-50 booking that's been thrown out the window.
Right.
They did not capitalize on this whatsoever. You have the first match with Backlash. You had that with Cody Rhodes and Brock. You had that kind of a controversial win with Cody Rhodes the first time. Then the second time, Cody Rhodes did not submit. He did not tap out. He just passed out to Brock Lesnar. And now we got the third match. And personally, I was hoping that they could have had a stipulation match. But no, it's just a straight up wrestling match. And I just don't understand why. They should have did something. Personally, if this was going to get personal, you could have brought the Hell in the Cell to Detroit and let these two tear the Hell in the Cell structure apart.
Oh, Lord.
But overall, I think this is Cody Rhodes' night. I think Cody Rhodes is going to finally dethrone Brock Lesnar. He's going to put this to bed. He's going to put Brock Lesnar behind him, and he's going to move forward. And personally, JJ, you said about what is next for the American Nightmare. Well, I'm answering that question for you because I see someone else coming back this Saturday, and it's been reported that Cody Rhodes is going to be fighting at Payback, and I just have a gut feeling we are going to be getting Cody Rhodes versus the return of Bray Wyatt. I have this gut feeling Bray Wyatt is going to return on Saturday. If he's regular Bray Wyatt, if he's Eater of Wars Bray Wyatt, if he's Funhouse Bray, if he's the Fiend, if he's the new character with Uncle Howdy, whatever Bray Wyatt comes out on Saturday, he's going to confront Cody Rhodes at the end of the match, and that is how we're going to get Cody Rhodes, Bray Wyatt for Payback in Pittsburgh.
All right. Well, since this is basically part of our triple main event, let's go ahead and switch the clock around here since we might be going back in time, and let's get Mark's spots next. Mark, again, going back to what NXT used to be before Black and Gold, when it back was a game show, reality show, Cody Rhodes was a pro for one person that became the Eater of All Worlds. So there is a bit of retrospective there. And based on the documentary, I can see them pulling bits of documentary, like when Stardust was a thing and Cody was slowly losing himself. Maybe Bray uses that in his own way manipulation in the way that maybe Cody undermined him or maybe forgot about him. Let me in. What's your thoughts maybe towards that aspect? But at the end of the day, also, does Cody Rhodes finally beat Brock Lesnar definitively?
Yeah, I'll touch on the Bray thing at the end. But as far as the match goes, I don't see how Brock could win. I mean, I'm trying to think a month down the line, 2 months down the line. I don't see the benefit of Brock winning whatsoever. Not at all. Like, I don't get it at all. So let's just say Cody does win and something happens with Bray. And I think I might be one of the biggest Bray fans out there. So, but it almost scares me to death because I know how they book him. And I know that sometimes he could probably be difficult to work with. And if you mix Cody's pull or whatever he's got pull in the back and you put those two, I think that could be a recipe to disaster unless they hit a home run. If they're doing Bray and Cody, they gotta hit a home run, man, because people are going to be picking at this program from day one. So I'm telling you, if they do that, they better hit a home run. But I think Cody does win at SummerSlam.
I keep saying it all the time. I still to this day hold the fact that Cody did not finish the story of WrestleMania. And I don't think he is going to finish it anytime soon unless he gets past this Brock Lesnar thing for sure. It's the third time. Third time's the charm. And I'm just going to keep this short, sweet, and simple. This is going to be a fight because Brock Lesnar fights. He even said himself, he's getting paid to fight. I've been watching the 24/7 SummerSlam stream. And yes, I saw Brock Lesnar break Triple H's arm. I saw Brock Lesnar take John Cena. Sorry, Chris. To Suplex City 16 times. I saw Brock Lesnar beat CM Punk. Actually, I watched that on Peacock. But the bottom line is right now, Brock Lesnar has nothing to gain in victory over Cody Rhodes at this point. You don't need to take this any further. You don't need this to become Payback where you have Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar 4, 2 out of 3 falls. We need to end this saga, and he needs to try and continue his way somehow to finish the story. And whether or not that means you turn a different chapter, looking back at the past and letting him in, and hopefully, like you said, Mark, they don't F it up. I'm nervous about it, but as far as Saturday night goes, the one decision I need to see, so far it is unanimous, Jeff, the winner needs to be, whether he survives bleeding, I don't give a damn. It needs to be Cody Rhodes. So, Jeff, your thoughts on this?
Well, my thoughts personally are that I'm glad this feud is coming to an end. It was fine when it first started, but it's getting old.
Right.
I understand this is the rubber match. I think it went on way too long, personally. 4 months. So, I mean, it's like it could have ended last month and I would have been happy about it. But, but you know, with a broken arm, you know, it kind of delays everything, unfortunately. But you know, I got to go with Cody. It's got to be Cody that takes it because, as was stated earlier, what's next for Brock if he wins it? I mean, Isn't his contract coming up soon anyway?
Oh God, who the heck knows with this guy? He probably gets paid on appearance anymore.
Right.
He's
So
gonna
I
just
mean,
do them all can at this point.
yeah, I thought I heard rumors that his contract was coming to an end soon, but yeah. What is it? What's in it for Brock if he wins it? I mean, it's kind of dumb. So I've got Cody taking the rubber match. As far as Wyatt, I can see your point on starting the feud with him because of the past history from NXT. But at the same time, it kind of doesn't make sense. You're just throwing Cody into a match with somebody. There's no, if you want to have a story build up, have it build up. Don't build up like have it start like it's, hey, I'm going to attack you at SummerSlam. Have it build up. Have Bray coming out and at least talking to him. They have a little segment. Have it on Raw, or something like that. Have their little talking segment, and take it from there. But I mean, usually returns, someone's getting their ass kicked. And I'd hate to see Cody go down with Bray, and have it start off that way, because really we don't know what's starting this feud if he's doing that. What is behind this? And of course, maybe we'll get mentioned on future shows of the reasoning why. But I don't know. It doesn't seem. I guess just my opinion. I don't like the whole Cody Rhodes Bray Wyatt thing.
I agree.
I would rather. Exactly. If you're gonna have him feud with somebody from the past or something, this is where a returning Orton could come into play. Exactly. This is where a returning Orton could come into play with the whole legacy thing. Yeah, they have had encounters over the last year or so, but I think honestly, if you were going to have someone return and start a new feud, have it be Orton. I think we've seen Orton as a face for quite a while now. It's about time that Orton comes back as a heel.
Yes,
I've been saying, guys, usually after every leave, he comes back. He goes back and forth between the two. Now it's his time to be a heel. I would rather see Cody versus Orton, personally, over Cody versus Wyatt.
Same. I mean, as soon as I saw Cody Rhodes hug Randy Orton, I'm like, okay, so I know this has to be a heel at some point, right? Because Randy Orton, again, you don't trust the Viper.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but the bottom line, Cody Rhodes leaves the gatekeeper in the past, say he shall not pass, and continue on your road to ultimately finish your story. Whether or not it's WrestleMania 40, we'll talk more about that later, I'm sure. All right, good stuff, guys. But we're unanimous with that one. So we're all with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and that's going to be a hell of an atmosphere. And Sean, again, this is just me and my friends exclusively talking SummerSlam and hyping it up. The regular Semi-Predicted will be tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live. So you get basically two different tastes. So enjoy it, because these guys, we've been talking wrestling now for the better part of 5 damn years, not just WWE, but every company in between. And here we are 2 years later on video, and it feels damn good. All right, so let's go ahead and change things up. And this honestly might not turn into a prediction. This might turn into, you ready for this? Because I'm kicking this off. The state of women's professional wrestling address. Because here we go, folks. Triple threat for the new christened WWE Women's Championship. The defending champion, Asuka, defends the gold against, oh, Lord, Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair. Oh, dear. Is this really fair? I honestly don't care. All
fair
right,
to Flair?
so, I'm not trying to be serious, but hey, maybe I can write a book one of these days. I wrote a book back in 6th grade, but that's a different story. All right, guys, let's go ahead and just talk about this straight out. Charlotte Flair cannot do anything unless she has a title. She has no identity or no direction in WWE without something on her shoulder or around her waist. That's just her pedigree. That's just the way she has been advertised, booked into oblivion at this point. Why her and Belair have not had a one-on-one match encounter, they did have a one-on-one encounter back in NXT and went on to the network. And Charlotte Flair invaded at the time. Belair was ruined and saying, why are you here? And Belair wasn't even champion. Belair and Asuka have been going at it for the better part of this year, and even going all the way back to the Black and Gold NXT. They traded victories, but Asuka finally got the better of the EST, second crown jewel. We thought should have happened at WrestleMania. Didn't happen. And has been champion since. But here comes Charlotte Flair, where my tie earned. Charlotte Flair is the reason Asuka became vulnerable. Broke her undefeated streak at WrestleMania 34, never got the win back since. In fact, she had a chance again at it and lost it again. Asuka has never beaten Charlotte Flair one-on-one. Belair and Flair have yet to face each other one-on-one. Belair and Asuka have literally traded wins and losses now against each other. In a triple threat, you got a buffer, you got a fall person. There is no Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. There is no Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. There is this match with Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, and Asuka. And I fear, because again, the bigger money program they might book is Belair and Flair. I think Flair is a freaking champion. I don't want that to happen. But it's one of those things where how many times in the WWE logic system do you bet against Charlotte Flair and it bites you in the ass when it comes to gold? You can't say Flair without gold in the same sentence when it comes to Charlotte. I think that Charlotte Flair once again becomes the freaking champion. Damn it. But I don't think she leaves as champion if the way I'm booking this goes down. Because let's think about this. Io Sky has the prize in the grasp of her hands with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Could we get a cash-in? Which does lead me to believe that if Flair doesn't win, Asuka could retain, but after the Japanese promos we've seen, Io could cash in on her former Stardom running mates. And while I want to see Io Sky versus Asuka one-on-one, this whole Twitter dynamic has thrown this to a tailspin for me. I mean, seriously, could they possibly book a non-title program for Charlotte Flair for the first time ever? Belair and Flair without a title? And can that actually be substantial for WWE programming, considering how both of them always say that they're the best, but have yet to prove against Chara one-on-one? So, thinking about that aspect, I'm actually turning the clock with you guys here. I think Asuka's going to retain, but I do think Io is going to try and cash in, but Bayley's going to stop it. Because I think Bayley has her own agenda. I just don't want to see Charlotte Flair leave as champion. It might cost me a point, but I don't give a damn. I don't need to see number 17. Yes, 16. Get your damn stats right. Asuka leaves as champion, please and thank you. Mark, your thoughts on this triple threat match?
Real quick, does anybody have an update on Bayley? I think she just got injured 2 weeks ago. Is she okay? Does anybody got an update on her? Because I heard she hurt it was the same injury as she just came back from, and this happened in Salisbury, Maryland, at a house show like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
so
far,
I don't.
So far she hasn't been like physically involved, but apparently they're trying to build a storyline with her and Shotzi, so I don't necessarily fully magically cleared.
Okay. When it comes to this match, I feel like I don't really have a winner, but I've narrowed it down in percentages. I almost feel like Asuka has a 60% chance. I feel like Charlotte has like a 35% chance because she is who she is. And I almost feel like there's an opportunity for her to padding her stats. When I say padding her stats is maybe she can win and maybe Io can cash in. So, and I give Bianca 5%. I don't think she's winning. So I'm going to have to ultimately go with Asuka.
All right, fair enough. So do you think Io Sky, though, gets a chance to cash in at all? Is she going to maybe think about it? Or
if Charlotte wins, yes.
That's fair. So we got two different timelines here. The domino effect. All right, but so far we got two for Asuka because she needs to actually back up her damn statement. No one's ready for Asuka. Then beat these two for Pete's sake. Chris, your thoughts on this match? Look at him.
Hey, who's up?
You,
brother.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You got lost in the Steiner math.
Yeah, you got lost in the Steiner math. Exactly.
Okay.
At least this Steiner math asked to 100%. Anyway, go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
Okay. This is gonna be a good match. And personally, I have noticed this. We got Asuka, Bianca, and Charlotte. Oh, wait a minute. I just gave you guys the first three letters of the alphabet.
Damn it.
A, B, C.
Are you saying this match is as easy to call as 1, 2, 3? Come, give me a break. Damn it, Chris, you freaking idiot.
I just realized it. Asuka,
Wow.
Bianca, Charlotte. First three letters in the alphabet. So there
Well,
we
this is
go.
about paper scissors, and this triangle doesn't add up.
But overall, it's going to be a good match. I'm canceling out Bianca Belair. There's no way they're going to give her the championship again. It comes down to Asuka and Charlotte with me. And personally, I've been torn on this for a while. If Asuka retains, this is what's going to happen. Asuka just won the championship at Night of Champions. So, and that happened back in May. So are you going to have her ended like 3 months as champion? But if Charlotte wins, you know WWE is going to want to get her numbers up as champion. And personally, I feel like every time they do like a triple threat match, usually Charlotte wins these types of matches. Just look back what happened at SummerSlam 2018 when we had Charlotte, Becky, Carmella for the championship. Charlotte won the match. Look at SummerSlam 20, and Mark got off for no apparent reason.
His whiffy.
But and look at 2021 where it was Charlotte, Rhea, Nikki ASH. Charlotte won the championship. Now we look at a triple threat match again with Asuka, Bianca, and Charlotte. Do they continue this trend, have Charlotte win the match, and then if Io does cash in, I think Io is going to end SummerSlam with the champion, because look what happened last year. Damage Control formed at SummerSlam. And now
you're right.
A year later, Io Sky could be champion. And if I think where I'm heading towards this, I do believe I'm going to say there is going to be a cash in on Saturday. I think Io is going to cash in, and to make this be on the video, I have time to change it.
Of course.
I have a gut feeling they're going to give it to Charlotte. I have this gut feeling they're going to give it to Charlotte. And then I think after the match, Io is going to cash in, and Io is going to be the new women's champion on Saturday.
It's virtually the only way at this point, Jeff, you can take a towel off Charlotte Flair, because every time someone's cashing on Charlotte, they have won the towel off her. Bayley included. Bayley literally did the thing the same damn night at Money in the Bank when she won the damn briefcase. I'll give Io Sky credit, though. She's one of the longest holders of the case. Unbelievable. Not really a hard milestone, just saying. But anyway, all right. So we got Asuka and Chris. You say Charlotte. Damn it.
I said Charlotte, and I said for the bonus point, there will be a cash in.
That's fair enough. Well, Jeff, what's your stance on this triple threat? And maybe this is the time that Bianca finally goes heel, according to what Sean Garner is saying. I hate to say this, considering how great she was as a champion, long reigning champion, EST, but is she just the person to eat the 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, I think that the one to get get pinned is going to be Bianca, I think, and that's what's going to make her flip. And what I was going to say is pretty much what Chris has said. I'm going Charlotte, and I agree with the cash in, because I don't see Io cashing in on Asuka.
I agree.
I don't see Io cashing on Bianca.
No.
Which leaves only one person to take that title and lose it mere minutes after she wins it. And it's going to be Charlotte Flair.
Just to get the number up, number 17. I finally surpassed my father.
and the whole, I don't know if you remember where I said at the beginning of the thing, be fair to Flair? That's an old Bobby Heenan reference. When Ric Flair and the big gold, and you got to be fair to Flair, kind of. So I had to get Bobby Heenan in there somewhere.
Well, R.I.P. to the brain. Respect. And again, it's one of those things where at the end of the day, it's not her fault. Somebody books her into oblivion to the point that you just be like, oh, okay, she's in a championship match. She's going to win the title. Yes, she wins the title that has a number, but she might as well just be one of the shortest reigning temporary transitional champions there are to the next person. I think it would be very polite for Io Sky 1 year in her WWE main roster career to be the new women's champion and then build a program between her and Asuka. But I just don't know if they're ready to pull that trigger yet with this whole sub tangent right now, Bayley and Sachi, with the fact that we don't know if Bayley's fully medically cleared yet. So that's why I do think that Asuka, for what it's worth, she deserves a bit of a longer run. I mean, think about how long it's been since she's been champion, for Pete's sake.
Right.
What's up, Chris?
And I completely see that point too. I mean, and I took that into consideration. It's like, this has only been like a 3-month run. So, but we've seen the women's title change, in 3 months. I mean, it's just, this may be right now, as far as Asuka can go with this whole thing for now. Not saying that this won't happen in the future again, where she might grab another title, but I could honestly see her grabbing the title on the other brand. I could see her leaving with the world women's title, and that would be a good culmination for her career. So her losing this title at SummerSlam is not exactly a bad thing. As far as her career goes, it's like she can take this character and run with it against Rhea Ripley, because right now, as you know, in the Judgment Day, Ripley is basically a face in that whole faction. Everybody loves Rhea Ripley, and you'll still have Asuka as your heel. So there's your face versus heel, if you want to call Rhea a face, even though the group is a heel. But you listen to the crowd, and they love Rhea. So I could see Rhea and Asuka for that women's world title, very possibly as soon as the end of the year.
Considering that was Rhea's way into the main roster of WWE and she beat her at WrestleMania 37, that's a good retrospective. What's on your mind, Chris?
I have a question. I know this is a triple threat and the bonus point. What if this match gets, just say if this match gets turned into a Fatal 4-way and we still get the cash, and would we still get a point, or is the match get thrown out? Because that's what I need.
If she cashes in, the bell rings. That is a definitive yes. If she cashes in, the bell doesn't ring, it's a no. It's as simple as that. The cash-in is not official until the bell rings. Once that bell rings, that's the ultimate decider. What happens after that is on the person that cashes in. It doesn't matter if it's successful. It matters if that bell rings and it's official in any capacity.
Okay. Right. But also,
I never thought about that. Why would someone ever put themselves in even a crazier situation than the most vulnerable situation the champion's at? A Fatal 4-way.
Right. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how they work this, but especially with the cash in. But if Io wins it, who's to say Io won't turn on Bayley, because we know the animosity between the two of them. So that's a possibility as well.
That's very true. All right, let's go ahead and keep going down this card, and we will go ahead and change things up with what I think is going to be kind of like your, hey, folks, this moment happened with the cash-in possibly, or Charlotte Flair won the title again, or let's go ahead and give you guys a chance to snap it to a Slim Jim as we have a Battle Royal here. Unknown number of participants, but we know one person in particular is in it, and I think that's the only name that matters, so say it with me. We have L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
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 Playing enough because he thinks he's not gonna win. Damn, man, you already just drop it on LA Knight before WWE does. Damn. We got freaking Sheamus. We heard that Shinsuke Nakamura is gonna be involved in it. Bronson Reed, and I'm sure a bunch of others. It's an over-the-top rope battle royal presented by Slim Jim. Snap it to a Slim Jim. I haven't had Slim Jims in years, by the way. That being said, I have no idea who's fully in this thing. I have no idea what the winner's going to get from this thing. I have no idea what to expect from this thing. But I do know this. There's one person that deserves a moment or a chance at a championship. It is the guy that right now you need to hop aboard that gravy train because he is the Kavorka. He is definitely the one that brings attention to the product. He talks to you, and that's not an insult. That is just a fact of life. And his name is L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
But we do get 2 picks because I'm sure the WWE is going to try and find a way to not give the fans what they want because that's the way this company works. Let's just put it into retrospective. So if that guy doesn't win, Bronson Reed because he's a big dude. I don't freaking know. Jeff, what's your thoughts on this Battle Royal?
Well, to me, the Battle Royal is pointless because there's nothing that the winner gets. It's just a match added with a whole bunch of people thrown into it. If there was a stipulation to it of what they win or what they get if they won the Battle Royal, then it would kind of make much more sense to have the Battle Royal at SummerSlam. But I got to go with LA Knight, obviously. That's a given. Yeah, that's a given. I think that if they don't run with Knight now, winning this Battle Royal, what the hell do they do? Why keep him on the roster? Because they've been knocking him off every chance that they got. They've been knocking him off the pedestal the minute he starts stepping on it. And I think this is where, if they're going to really truly run with LA Knight, they're going to do it in this Battle Royal. My backup, I don't know. It's both. Are we thinking are we saying it's kind of like both shows, or is it just a SmackDown exclusive thing? We don't know.
Sheamus is in there. Brent's been LL. I imagine it's going to be Raw and SmackDown. I highly doubt there'll be somebody from NXT, but hey, I guess random things have happened.
Well, we had people who got called up from NXT come into play. So I'm going to say that we are going to probably see an NXT person in this Battle Royal. And, why not? Braun Breaker.
Whoa. All right. That's a hot pick.
If you want, because, right now he's got nothing going on in NXT. And I think his course is pretty much run with this last feud that he had. So I think this would be a great time to call him up. Call them up at a big pay-per-view. They're in Detroit. They're in Michigan, home of the Steiners. What better place to have Breaker make his debut on the main roster than in Detroit? I think this would be a great call if they had Breaker come up. And honestly, he could be a top contender to win this Battle Royal. So that kind of makes sense if you're not going to have anything on the line, have him come up, have him make a statement, have him win it. That to me sounds like a perfect plan. That's how I would write it.
Again, you really brought the retrospective out there too. And to be fair, he did have like one match on Raw where he was like NXT champion, I guess.
Right.
Dolph Ziggler, I think. So I guess there's that. But this Braun Breaker, this reset, this more violent, heelish Braun Breaker, hot-headed Braun Breaker like Scott Steiner. I like that. But before I give it to Chris, let JJ talk. Let him talk to you, dummies. Yeah. If the one, the only, the megastar L.A. Knight, doesn't win, the more suitable riot. And that's not a rumor. That is a spoiler. And that is just a fact of life. Yeah. But the one thing that would really piss me off after the Uncle Phil comment to Top Dollar that was so damn funny. If Top Dollar's dumb, stupid, poorly word structured ass is in this freaking thing, and he tries to Uncle Phil Bill LA Knight, I'm gonna freaking be pissed off beyond all belief. And then people will be like, "Oh, okay, that's just LA Knight eating crow." Top Dollar doesn't even belong in a ring. He doesn't even know how to go in between the damn ropes.
I was just gonna say.
The last time he was involved in the Battle Royale. Just saying. And you gotta have filler in here, so there you go. They're freaking, get his way in Slim Jims. But yeah, come on now. I do love that Braun Breaker though. That's a very interesting take. Chris, what's your thoughts? You seemed deflated when we said L.A. Knight. Yeah. Do you think that WWE is dropping the ball on him? Is this just another moment that they just let go to the wayside with him? Or what's your take, man? What's going on?
Well, my take is what Triple H said on the post-medium scrum for Money in the Bank. what he said about LA Knight,
Yeah.
they're taking their time. They're taking their time, and they're waiting for the perfect time to push the guy. And it's all about just be patient. We're getting to it.
Yeah, but how much longer do they have to push him? I mean, they've pushed him since his not since his debut as LA Knight, not as Dupree, but you know, but they have been pushing him right along. But every time he gets his foot up on the pedestal, they push him off. How much longer do we have to wait?
Biggest pop. The guy draws a freaking reaction wherever he freaking goes, dark or on SmackDown Live, for a 2-minute damn promo more worthwhile than a damn 2-minute match.
Right.
And you guys had good points, but it's about being patient. What I'm hearing is LA Knight's push is going to happen after SummerSlam. Personally, if he wins, that means he won the Battle Royal. Now it's time to really push the guy. If they're not going to push him now, maybe they're waiting for the perfect time to maybe say, hey, we know, we all possibly thinking maybe Gunther is going to be a favorite to win the Royal Rumble next year. I personally believe they could go in a different direction, and you have LA Knight gain the big moment and win the Royal Rumble, challenge for, we all know he's not going to be fighting Roman Reigns. That's out of the darn question.
Right.
LA Knight faces the World Heavyweight Champion. LA Knight has his big moment at WrestleMania and win a World Championship. That could be the end game right there.
Yeah,
but
that could be.
But in this Battle Royal, my primary pick is LA Knight. Yeah. And my secondary, I do see we're going to get surprise people in this. I do think we're going to get maybe Kofi and Xavier, the New Day.
Isn't
I
Kofi
wouldn't
still
be.
injured?
Yeah, I think he's still injured, but he's coming along perfectly.
Like Big E, maybe.
Yeah.
Ooh,
and you brought up about Big E. I could see Big E returning this Saturday.
That's true.
And I wouldn't mind seeing a glorious one return this Saturday.
Don't get my
Bobby
hopes up.
Roode.
Don't get my hopes up.
I have a gut feeling we might see Bobby Roode on Saturday. I think Bobby Lashley's going to be in this Battle Royal. I think the Street Profits. I know Chad Gable and Otis are in it.
Thank you.
I know the Viking Raiders are going to be involved. Personally, maybe we might be seeing Omos in this Battle Royal.
Oh, probably.
But as far as my secondary goes, if he doesn't have like a big segment or anything, I'm going to say my secondary pick is going to be Grayson Waller.
That's understandable.
And why I do see Grayson Waller winning this, because I was hearing reports if they were going to do an LA Knight match at SummerSlam, it was going to be LA Knight versus Grayson Waller at SummerSlam. I was hearing that, and personally, if Grayson Waller is in this battle, he's going to win. If he's not, and if he's doing like a big segment, well, he's been convincing The Rock to return on Saturday and be on the Grayson Waller effect. So hopefully, if that does happen, I'll be good. But I'm hoping Grayson Waller's in this Battle Royal to win it.
I mean, you know, I can appreciate the optimistic thoughts towards NXT alumni or NXT talent being involved in this thing and possibly winning. I hope it's not a bunch of jobbers, but hey, everyone needs to get a payday. If you're not going to get, you know, a marquee match, you might as well just, you know, advertise for Slim Jim. Even it might reduce your popularity. Sure, Big E's have more than his fair share of Slim Jims. He hopes that JD is in it and he wins. That's another one to think about. JD McDonough. Yep. He's been a guy that's been completely MIA. Maybe Dexter Loomis maybe Dexter Lumis hides himself underneath the ring and helps Giant Gargano stay in it for the long haul. I mean, it is one of those things where it's like you got a lot of talent here and you're just reducing them to this. But
and we
honestly,
might be gaining. We might be gaining. I just thought about this. Maybe you could have Edge be in this Battle Royal.
Yeah, maybe build another feud with him, I guess, on his way to Toronto, which is still up in the air.
Right.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, what the hell is this going to be?
Yeah.
Seriously.
It's hard to predict it because we really don't know who's in it. So it's.
Well, the only one that's in it right now that we give a damn about is L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
And that's the only one we should care about at this point. Who else really needs this for anything?
Right. Exactly.
James with a thought here before we move on. Here's a thought, guys. Why not make Grayson Waller and LA Knight a tag team? Maybe make it a trio with Theory. That could work. Austin Fury is another one. United States Championship isn't on the line as well. So,
right.
But those three, though, good God, the freaking Eagles and promos. I do kind of like that, though.
Does sound interesting.
And the Edge thing's not that far-fetched because Edge made his pay-per-view debut 25 years ago at SummerSlam, you know me. So, again, I do think this is going to be a spectacle. And, Sean, the fact of the matter is LA Knight hasn't won a lot. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, again, I don't know what they do besides maybe set up a program for LA Knight. Yeah, if this isn't for a title, because I think it makes sense it should be for a title. Even Key Mike says, let the winner be number one contender for maybe the Continental Championship belt or something. Like, give them something. Snap it to a championship. I don't know. Make a dumb marketing play out of that into Payback. Because I guess Slim Jim now is around for the long haul. Apparently, they're going to use it for Survivor Series and maybe even WrestleMania. So, the newest big partnership since Snickers, I guess. Would you rather have a Snickers or a Slim Jim? Don't answer that question. That's rhetorical. But... yeah, at this point, I don't really know what to make of this freaking thing. I just know LA Knight's in this. I'm just going to go with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chad Gable.
Yeah.
That was a hell. Yeah, there you go. Chad Gable. It's a running gag, just like freaking Chad Gable and the Alpha Academy. And I will say this, that 5 minutes, though, thank you for giving him a chance against Goofer. I wouldn't mind seeing that one-on-one. Sheesh, Chris. Sheesh, please. All right, guys. Before we go down the gimmick train, can we please move forward?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Oh, dear. His Wi-Fi went out. Y'all good, bro? Just if you can't come in here, let us know. And again, man, always a pleasure. We got you. Technology can be a real bitch. Oh, they came back on 4 minutes ago, so maybe he'll get back in this. Let's see here.
We should talk about that match now.
Winner gets free Slim Jims.
Winner gets free.
Well, if that's the case, give it to Otis.
I have never had Slim Jims in my life.
No? Oh, dude. They're awesome. I love Slim Jims.
You'll probably be eating Slim Jims during this Battle Royal match on Saturday.
I'm probably going to get some at the store and watch SummerSlam at the campground and probably be eating some Slim Jims.
I wonder how much Slim Jims are going to be at Ford Field. I'm just just saying.
Well, they better sell them. I mean, if they're being sponsored by, they better sell them. I can imagine probably like $5 a stick. And those are the small ones.
The small one. The freaking foot lawn is going to be $12. Capitalism at its finest.
Well, we already know a 12-ounce cup of beer is like 15. So I mean, go figure from that. Oh yeah, they're not cheap. So imagine what a Slim Jim would be.
I'm fearing for my Mountain Dew consumption during this show now.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, help me in my wallet. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and keep moving on down this card. We got 3 matches left here, so let's go ahead and talk about this one, which the hell of it. You need something, and I feel like they're going to go back to back because of what's going to happen. Let's go ahead and talk about this one because it's not a wrestling match; it's a straight-up fight. Ronda Rousey goes one-on-one with Shayna Baszler in an MMA rules match. So, what is MMA rules? I mean, besides the fact, there's like no low blows. There's like no, really restrictions besides that. You can punch a person in the face. You can knock them out in less than 45 seconds. You could submit them. You could choke them out in the middle of the ring. You could just constantly ground and pound them. You push them up against the cage. Oh, wait, this isn't an octagon. This is the lion's den. I'm kind of curious what these two are going to do here under a WWE booked MMA rules match. This isn't Ken Shamrock in the Lion's Den. This isn't even in the fight pit, which kind of saddens me, really. Yeah. You don't even have somebody from the MMA or their past, like Amanda Nunes or freaking Holly Holm or freaking I'm trying to think of our names, but I can't. Heck, bring back freaking Jessamine Duker for one thing. I don't know. But this right here is personal, and I am looking forward to this. So as we've been learning from these promos, Shayna Baszler has basically been the second to Ronda because Ronda wants somebody there at her side, not to surpass her. Go along the Ronda agenda. Be her starring partner. Let her beat you up. I let you live there for free. At one point, you thought there was maybe a mutual chemistry or a friendship here. And I guess it's not just the W Universe that has soured on rowdy Ronda Rousey. Shayna Baszler has all she can stand. She can't stand no more. And why it seems that Shayna truly is dedicated to professional wrestling, sports entertainment, and was the one that encouraged Ronda Rousey to be in this in the first place, even though Ronda Rousey literally went into first gear and literally went straight to the top, while Shayna Baszler has been working her whole way and been lucky to get anything since letting go to NXT. I think for me right now, this personally feels like a Shayna Baszler babyface push, long overdue. And if this hard buy is for real, and this is Ronda Rousey's way out, a big old FU maybe to the universe that hates her, but maybe a humble last thank you to Shayna for, hey, letting me experience this. Again, kayfabe be dead. You blur the lines between kayfabe and shoot, etc., etc. And again, these are two legitimate MMA fighters. They freaking fought each other back in Ultimate Fighter, where Shayna Baszler said that was hell on earth. With me here, though, I think Shayna Baszler needs it more. Shayna Baszler has yet to have a major moment on a premium live event, whatever the hell you want to call it. She honestly hasn't had her moment since WrestleMania 36. She came this close to getting the Raw Women's Championship. Yes, they got the tag titles, and then she turned her Money in the Bank because Shayna didn't want that. Shayna wants something else, and I think Shayna deserves it. But what does that mean for Ronda Rousey, which really feels like a one-up that I wish was more to it? And then again, I guess anything could change, LOL. But here right now, I think it would be very poetic if Shayna Baszler locks Ronda Rousey in the careful for the clutch and Ronda passes out. I'm saying Shayna wins at SummerSlam, and hope that means bigger things for the Queen of Spades. Jeff, your thoughts on this MMA fight?
Now, I will be right up front. I have been one of those people that was looking forward that when Shayna and Ronda tagged, I was ecstatic. I have been waiting for them to tag. And then when they got the opportunity to do so, I loved it. And then the turn that we all remember, and a part of me just kind of like died with that, because it's like, okay, well, at least I got to see them tag. That was a saving grace out of the whole thing. Now you've got this feud, friend versus friend. Well, what used to be friend versus friend, compadre versus compadre, MMA versus MMA. This is a perfect match for the two of them. It would be cool to see a setup, not really like the octagon, but not really like the fight pit, but some sort of structure for the two of them with a cage around it. Right. It makes sense being MMA. It doesn't make sense to have an MMA match when there's ropes. It makes sense to have an MMA match when there's a cage of some sort.
Get a cage lining around the ring or something.
Right.
What the hell?
Right. Exactly. You could easily put up a cage. And yeah, it's a cage match. You might as well call it that. I mean, that's fine. But I like the idea of the MMA match personally, because that's what it is. Take down the ropes and put up a cage. I think that would be a great way to do it.
Round, they're going to have like a panel of judges scoring.
I don't know. I mean, it would be cool to see if they're doing MMA rules, that they should abide by MMA rules, which means 5-minute rounds.
Right.
To me, I mean, I don't know how many rounds they would go. 5? Is that what they usually do? Or
yes, usually they do go to 5, and Ronda Rousey has rarely been in a bout that went beyond the first damn round if you check her record.
Right. And to finally see these two go at it in this type of a match is kind of like a dream come true, especially for those that are into MMA. This is a match that I don't think was ever done in MMA. I don't think we ever saw the two of them face off.
Not
because
in MMA,
obviously they were friends.
Not UFC. Ultimate Fighter, apparently in the early days, yes, but not necessarily in MMA. No.
Right. So I've and the turn that they did with Baszler, it makes sense for her to win this match because this is her stepping out of Ronda's shadow. And kind of like the whole Owen Hart winning that match against Brett to step out of his shadow. This is where I think Baszler is going to, her career is going to skyrocket after this match. I think they're really going to push Baszler. And you could easily say you could have Baszler versus Rhea for that title if you wanted to. You could have Baszler versus whoever comes out champion, whether it be Io Sky, which they had a classic in NXT. I mean, it just, you could relive a couple of these great matches. And I think that, this is a perfect and golden opportunity for Baszler to get, I think this is her push. This is her heavyweight title push is right here. She has to beat Ronda, and I think she will. Ronda's contract, I know, is pretty much, she's pretty much done with the company is what we've gathered. So this is probably Ronda's last Raw, and she's going to go out. Unfortunately, it's going to be with an L on her record, and you're going to see Shayna Baszler get her hand raised at the end.
You heard what Shayna said. She's sorry for what she has to do to this mother because of the fact that she is one of only two people that has held Ronda Rousey's little girl. So again, how personal are they making this feel? She wants to take everything away from her emotionally, her reputation, her identity, her legitimate badassery. Now, I don't know if you can necessarily take that away, but again, if you could beat her at SummerSlam by putting her to sleep, I think that's a pretty good, feather in the hat.
I think we're going to see a side of Baszler we haven't seen yet. NXT, well, we may see a side of her we haven't seen in MMA. There might be something about, because of how personal this is, there's going to be a lot more violence than you probably would think. I think she is out to hurt her.
Well, according
with it being personal.
Yeah, well, again, and also it's MMA, so I'm guessing they're going to make this look as legit as possible, considering they're both two legitimate MMA fighters. Mm-hmm. This is not going to be a superstar showcase. No. Again, MMA rules, though, there's no headbutting with the head, no eye gouging of any kind, no biting or spitting at an opponent, no hair pulling. Hey, I remember that tactic. No spiking at opponents in the canvas on their head or neck, no strikes to the spine or the back of the head, no throat strikes of any kind, no downward pointing elbow, no groin attacks. Well, that's just Gerald. There's a whole plethora of rules and regulations here that I don't think that Michael Cole's going to be able to disclose.
Does it say the time? It's 5-minute rounds, right?
Yep, it's 5-minute rounds.
Okay, so they should have that as part. If they're doing MMA rules, they should have that as a step. The thing they should have 5-minute rules. Now, who's going to be in the corners of these people? That's the next question.
Well,
because you got to have the coaches.
Well, here's back in the corner now that his Wi-Fi's working. What's up, Mark?
He's back.
He's good, bro. Yeah, technology can be a real B. It's all good.
So quicker than the Wi-Fi went out.
Yep, that'll do it. James knows firsthand how that feels. He was having signatures up the wazoo last night. Poor James.
This scenery seems awfully familiar. I remember that tree in the background, getting this one spot of sun on it.
It's standing tall and it's shining bright. So that means, Mark, do you think Shayna Baszler stands tall in her SummerSlam debut? This is Shayna Baszler's first match on SummerSlam, and it's at the expense of what we thought was, at this point, her former best friend, Ronda Rousey. What's your take on this MMA fight?
Oh, man, I don't know what you guys touched on already, but I don't know if it's rumored that she's about to leave the company. If she is, then it's definitely Shayna's. But, I mean, this is an MMA combat or whatever match, and it's even though Shayna has experience, this is Ronda Rousey, man. And I feel like even in real life, she should obliterate Shayna. I know Shayna's good too, but Ronda's Ronda, and I know she's got a few years on her now, but still, I feel like Ronda should win this unless she's leaving. If she's leaving, give this victory to Shayna on a silver platter. But I guess we'll have to see. But I picked Rousey in the prediction.
It would be cool. I'm just saying this real quick before I didn't mean to interrupt. It would be cool if you just let the two go at it. No script, no nothing. Just let them go at it. And then we won't know who wins it, because we're so far we're all kind of like going with Shayna because of this personal issue. If you just let them fight, no script, no nothing, just let them go at it.
This is a story. This is a combat fight. Just let the two bludgeon each other. I want to see real wounds. I want to see blood on the Titantron. I want to see a broken nose and a freaking shattered jaw and a bent up spine in some sort of weird way. You know how many different ways Ronda Rousey can bring a person down to the mat and freaking knock their eye out, for Pete's sake? Yes, folks, I used to watch a little bit of UFC MMA. Hell, it was Ronda Rousey that got me into UFC as a fan in the first place to a degree. So, again, it just feels like right now, either way, personal, scripted, this is the WWE at the end of the day, folks. I think Shayna deserves, especially if Ronda is out the door, because at this point, she probably has all she can stand. She can't stand no more. Chris, what's your take on this MMA fight?
Well, in this match with the MMA rules, I'm just afraid that the crowd is going to turn on this match. Knowing that it's an MMA rules match, if there's judges, if there's corners, if there's breaks, I just feel the crowd is going to be turning on this match, and people are not going to be like invested in it anymore, and they're just going to say, "Get this done, get this match done, and we could move on to the next match." I'm just afraid about that part. And personally, I'm going to agree with all you guys. Shayna Baszler deserves this win. If Ronda is out the door, then Shayna Baszler is going to win. Shayna Baszler is going to get out of Ronda's shadow. And Shayna Baszler is going to be what we seen from her down in NXT. And I want to see that type of Shayna Baszler again on the main roster.
Yes.
Yeah.
And personally, I feel after this match, I think Shayna Baszler could be in line for a women's championship match down the road. So Shayna Baszler wins this. If it's Ronda's final match for now in WWE, then she's gonna have. She did a good job. She had a good run. Hey, she might want to go have another kid. We don't know if she wants to have another kid. If she does, then it's gonna be about family. Whatever she's gonna do. Hey, she might come back maybe during the Royal Rumble. She could do it that way. If she needs time off, she could take time off if she wants to go back to the UFC, because I know WWE and UFC with the merger with the business.
Oh, Lord.
You could have Ronda Rousey go back to UFC, do what she wants to do. Or if not, then Ronda's going to deserve this break, and whatever she wants to do, we're going to be supporting of that. And that's what I'm going to have to tell you guys.
Yeah.
So 3 Shayna, 1 Ronda. And James like, watch Ronda win, LOL. And Mike, we addressed it earlier, returns or debuts. As far as this match goes, no, but I think the Battle Royale could. The New Day is definitely one we talked about with Big E, who probably could eat his weight in Slim Jims. Emmanuel, by the way, absolutely can't stand Ronda Rousey. He says, goodbye, Ronda. Good riddance. Sorry, not sorry. Damn. A lot of hate for the rowdy one. And King Mike apparently praises that comment. And Sean also just says she has no interest in going back to UFC. She said herself. So, again, but also Ronda Rousey, she can say whatever the hell she wants and people will buy into it. You know people could change their mind on the drop of a dime. What you hear is what's being read. What is being done is not official until that person literally chooses not to do it. And just because they don't do it now, like Chris said, doesn't mean they won't do it later. How many times did Brock Lesnar be like, bye, see ya? And he came back, bye, see ya. He came back, bye, see ya. And then I'll admit it, the last year, we see more personality out of Brock Lesnar than his entire career, and people have been eating it up.
Yeah.
So, all right. And you're good, Keem. I appreciate your support. And James here says, I feel bad for Ronda for what Vince did creatively. He had a gold mine, squandered it, and then made her not care her second run. I don't know. It's just a shame. Well, it's a fair take, but I'm also going to just put out what good mic work, apologize if I screw up your name, my friend, talked about as well. You can't put it's a Kenny McMahon, damn it, always at the front of blame towards something that doesn't go right in WWE in your own perspective way. Why he is the end honcho, end all be all, the official. It's not just him at the end of the day. There is a system. And at the end of the day, sometimes that system can make even the strongest of people go sour and not care anymore. They'll just go with the motion. So again, I don't work for the company. It is what it is. If this is Ronda Rousey's last hurrah to try and help her friend, wise, or legitimately try and hurt her friend, shoot wise, we'll find out soon enough. Either way, this is going to be something different, to say the least, versus everything else in this card. All right. Well, good talk, guys, and we will see what happens soon enough with that. And you did bring up the idea of Shayna Baszler maybe facing Mommy for the freaking championship, and why she's not involved. You know she's going to be involved in some capacity when it comes to the fact that the Judgment Day are trying to take over everything, more than freaking OVE out of Impact Wrestling. So let's go ahead and talk about this. And since Mark came back to the front, Mark, you kick things off with this. As the maniacal, he is the visionary. He is revolutionary. He is banged up beyond all damn belief. He is the current WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Seth freaking Rollins, defends the gold in the second of three Trinity of Trilogy main events here at Summerslam. Try saying that 5 times fast. Against Judgment Day's Finn Balor. Mark, before I give you this, I'm just going to ask this right now. It's the third time. It's that old proverbial saying, it's third time the charm. We go back to SummerSlam 2016 and what happened there. But it wasn't Finn Balor that one. It was the Demon. Is that maybe what it takes to even beat this fragile Seth freaking Rollins? Does history repeat? Does judgment fall against Finn Balor at the hands of Damian Priest? The floor is yours, my friend. Your thoughts on this match. Who leads with the gold?
I do think Balor's going to win. I expect to be in the minority here. And as hot as Seth Rollins is, and it would, some would argue it would be stupid to take it off of him already. But so is the Judgment Day. So is Finn Balor. They're the hottest right now that they've been. And I've said this to be the third time I've said this. Their whole faction screams investment. They have a lot into that. You could just see. Priest got the Money in the Bank. Dominic's got the North American title. Rhea's got the women's. So I see the Judgment Day really putting the final nail in, and at least even for a little bit, Balor getting that, because I also think the story between Priest and Balor is hot as well. So you got that going for you as well. I think throw Balor a bone, give it to him now, and if you want to give it back to Seth in the long run, then do it. But I think this could be Balor's night, so I went with him.
All right, fair enough. And again, we saw the tease of the dissension, and then they came together and basically played Seth freaking Rollins, who again is no stranger to being the architect of manipulation himself. I do wonder, though, has he designed a rightful game plan this time around to get the better of Finn Balor for the third time? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and they're trying to expect a different result. So, Chris, do we finally get a different result? Do we finally get a new champion? Is it Finn Balor or Damian Priest? Does Seth freaking Rollins continue his ways on Monday Night Raw, still holding the gold?
Well, this is the match I was torn about when it got announced. And yeah, I've been listening to all of the different YouTubers making predictions. And and just to like help me out a little bit, And I listened to Aaron Riffs and you guys' prediction to
Shout
help
out to the
me out,
ladies and no DQ as well.
and also the ladies. And I'm still torn about this. It could go. I feel like every match this whole weekend can go either way. It could go
Really could.
either way. But this is the thing. It's been 7 years in the making. 7 years. And Finn Balor, he was the demon that defeated Seth Rollins at SummerSlam to be the Universal Championship.
And it made really good shit the following night because he busted his shoulder.
And Seth Rollins laughed in Finn Balor's face, and we saw that up and close, that Finn Balor was disgusted with Seth did back in 2016. And personally, I think Finn Balor remembered everything, and he wants to take it out on Seth for injuring him, made me relinquish my championship 24 hours, put me on the shelf for for almost a year. And I personally believe we got Damian Priest as Senior Money in the Bank. I'm not saying Mr. I'm saying Senior Money in the Bank. We got Rhea Ripley, my mama, the Women's World Championship.
Your mama, God.
We got
everybody's mommy right now. Is Rhea
we got
Ripley. Good
NXT North American Champion. We got Dirty Dom. And personally, Judgment Day, they're the next hottest thing in WWE right now. With the Bloodline, they were the hottest thing. And the Bloodline is no more as we know it is.
Right.
And personally, with the Judgment Day, we haven't hit like the 9th inning of that storyline. We're like still in I think the early stages of it. And personally, Judgment Day, they're the hottest thing. You got to continue with this. And I'm going to say it to you right now. And I said it on the NXT Great American Bash Simply Predicting show. And I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this right now. There's not going to be a cash-in. There's not going to be a cash-in. I'm going to predict my second title change of the night. We are going to get Finn Balor the brand new War Heavyweight Championship. And I am hearing that if Finn does win, I am hearing that at Payback, I'm hearing that we're going to get a triple threat match with Finn Balor, Seth freaking Rollins, and Damian Priest. So I just have a gut feeling Damian Priest might not want to do the whole traditional route and just say, let me announce that I'm cashing in. Then you could have Seth says, I want a rematch for my world championship. You could do Seth versus Damian. Winner faces Finn Balor at Payback. You could have that end like in a no contest or whatever. And then you could go to the triple threat match at Payback for the world championship.
When I think about triple threats and championship matches, I do think about being a bridge to a bigger story. But Damian Priest, who already has a money bank briefcase, being involved in a championship match on the same night and then cashing in afterwards, that would be a unique dynamic to really show whose agenda he's on. Because I would think if he's in that triple threat, he's on Finn Balor's agenda. He's making sure Finn Balor stays champion, but he also could be making sure the title stays within Judgment Day. The bottom line, though, according to what you're saying, though, you believe the title is going to Judgment Day, and Judgment Day will all have gold. It's basically what you're trying to sum up.
Yeah, I'm trying to sum this up, but they could go with a different route and just have Seth retain, and then you could still do the triple threat match with Damian and Finn Balor at Payback. But I'm sticking to Finn Balor as of now, winning at SummerSlam, being the world champion, and finally putting 7 years behind him.
Does it as himself and not as the demon either. Although I do wonder, does he actually need the demon? Though he has said in the past, I don't need a demon to beat you. How'd that work out at WrestleMania? Just saying. All right. Well, that's a fair point. So we're at 1-1. Jeff, you're on the bubble now. What's your thoughts about this World Championship match? I mean, it is SummerSlam. It's a trilogy of trilogies being concluded, allegedly. So it is one of those things that you do think that not necessarily the good guy wins in the end of all three. I know we'll talk about one particularly here in a little bit, much more in depth, particularly. But what's your take on this? Do you have a new World Heavyweight Champion for Monday Night Raw? And it has been known, except for Rollins, he is banged up beyond all belief.
I think that well, first of all, to me, wow, Damian Priest has that Money in the Bank briefcase because he's not going to cash it in on Gunther. He's not going to cash it in on Austin Theory. And he's not going to cash it in on either the winner of Roman versus Jay.
No.
So obviously that leaves one title. And I think the way I see it happening, and to me it makes perfect sense, is if you have, say you have the match goes on, Seth Rollins wins, cash in. Because Finn didn't win it, Damian can cash it in. If Finn wins the title, he's not going to cash in.
Right.
I don't see Damian cashing in on Finn.
Not yet.
If anyone, he's going to cash it in on Seth. And I think that with him, if that's the case and he wins the title from Seth, if he wins the title, that's going to cause a little bit more animosity or more jealousy between him and Balor. It's not like we haven't seen it before. It's obviously going to be there.
Right.
Now, does this mean a split up of possibly the Judgment Day? I hope not, because this is one of the hottest factions in WWE right now. You can't say that they're other than the Bloodline, when they were all together, they were the top two factions. They're the ones who literally run the place. And week after week, we see the promos, we see the matches. They have impressed me, this being the Judgment Day.
Right.
I personally think that we are going to see a cash-in once Seth defeats Balor. And something between Balor and Finn will arise once again. And it's something that probably Mommy cannot take care of this time. Mommy's got her title. Dominic's got his title. This is going to... I don't see them winning a tag title. I mean, I'm sure if they wanted to go that route, I'm sure Damian could probably cash it in on the tag team championships because it's good for any championship. And if that's the case, then they can easily go after Zayn and after Owens. But right now we know Owens is hurt. So those titles, particularly right now, aren't going to be on the line. They're not. I don't know what's going to happen with that. But that could be a possibility as well. And that's the one title that people don't think about when cashing in a Money in the Bank briefcase, because that's a singles title, right? I mean, that's right. What you think of. Why not? If you're able to cash it in on the United States champion, why can't you cash it in on a tag team championship and bring Finn with you? Then you'll have a women's world title holder, you'll have the North American title holder, and you'll have the tag team championships, all within Judgment Day. It doesn't necessarily have to be the top title. So it could go a lot of different ways, but I do see Seth retaining. And if there is a cash-in, there will be one, but something tells me it's not going to be successful.
Damn.
Because I've got that tag title thing stuck in my head. Because Judgment Day and Owens and Zayn have had issues recently. So that could be a complete possibility for this.
Well, another thing that I think also consider, I thought they were trying to recruit a number within the Judgment Day that's been MIA since Draft LOL, and that is one JD McDonough, who used to be, and I still think is technically, the student of one Finn Balor. And the last time JD and Finn Balor one-on-one was all the way back in NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool, where Finn Balor surprised him and got the win. It's one of those things where I almost wonder, is there another hidden agenda within Judgment Day? And is it being run by Damian Priest? Like, whose plan was it originally to turn on Edge and concerto him when they were recruiting Finn Balor? Was it Finn's plan? Was it Damian Priest's plan? Was it Rhea Ripley's plan? Because at this point, people think the most dominant member of the Judgment Day is probably Rhea Ripley, Mommy, because she's been manipulating this thing probably since the get-go, even before Dirty Dominant was a thing. There's so many moving parts right now to this Judgment Day thing, especially bleeding this purple now into NXT, and the fact that Mommy and Dom are such a knit couple, and then you have the animosity with the bigger brothers of the group, basically, almost like a biker gang going to a form of Sons of Anarchy. At this point, though, just looking at this match, you all gave a lot of food for thought. But again, in this night of Trinity of Trilogies, I do think you're not going to always have the good guy winning. But I do think you're going to still see storylines progressing. At Judgment Day right now, the biggest storyline is, when will Damian Priest cash in, and on who? I look at the next premium live event name, Payback. You have to try and make that name matter. Who wants Payback more based on what happens at SummerSlam? Will it be Seth? Will it be Finn? Will it be Priest as an added factor? I do think this match has more potential possibility for a cash-in, but it's 7 years, guys.
Yeah.
We're going to go split down the middle of this one, where it's 2 and 2. Chris, I agree with you. I think Finn Balor finally gets it done too. At this point, if he doesn't, what does Finn Balor prove to Judgment Day when everyone else has gold or a chance at the prize at hand? Damian Priest like, Finn Balor can't do it. Doesn't mean I can. We've seen the solid nods of respect that Seth freaking Rollins has given to Damian Priest, because Seth has been in that exact situation. Remember, Cash of the Century. I feel like there is something brewing in Judgment Day, a dissension, a separation, maybe a usurp of leadership. And I think it will be by Damian Priest. And I think that leads into Payback, if not beyond, executed there by Damian Priest, bringing his punishment. Either way, looking at this night, I think Finn Balor does get his moment and leave with the prize. I'm actually going with the Prince. Finally doesn't miss. I got a new World Heavyweight Champion.
Before you go to Mark, I want to answer this question on Michael, King Michael. Can you pop that up? Dominic's engaged. Yes, he is actually. Okay, right here. Would you kick out Finn, who seems to be the leader? I'm sorry, but as of late, I think Damian Priest has been more of a leader in this group. Because I mean, he's the one who always seems to want to talk first when it comes to being out in the ring and stuff like that. He seems to be the one who's mostly talking first. Sometimes it's been Rhea, but most of the time it's, I think, leadership. Lately, I have to give it to Priest. There's just some animosity there. We know that Finn is supposed to be the leader, but Priest is acting like the leader. So there's more to this pot of stew that we've got of the Judgment Day than one would normally think. So, I mean, I really don't know who's the leader anymore, except I know that it's not Dirty Dom.
Ratnick says that Mommy is the leader. Mark, do you have anything to say about that? There it is.
I mean, I thought I already went, but when I came back home, but
you did. But I thought you had something to add. Yeah, that's fine.
Not necessarily. I do believe now, listen to you guys, that if Balor does win, I wouldn't rule out Priest cashing in on him right then and there. And then the whole theme around Payback is maybe Balor getting his payback on Priest. Maybe. I mean, I guess we'll see.
Okay.
They call it Final Judgment. Chris, what's up, bro?
Well, I got some breaking news to tell you guys.
Oh, good noise.
All right, what you got?
We should have the theme song go across.
I need to get a banner that has that.
Well, this is a breaking news tomorrow. Tomorrow on Sirius XM Busted Radio, you'll be getting this superstar like you have never hear him before. Tomorrow, you can maybe call in on the show and talk to him directly, because tomorrow on Sirius XM Busted Radio, we are going to get LA Knight. Yeah.
All right. I like
I'm tuning in. I'm tuning in.
I'm listening. I'm going to listen to that at some point during work. Thank you, Chris, for that wonderful announcement. For those that tune in, Busted Open, or if you haven't, Go check it out, folks. It's quite a listen. All right. And Emmanuel here. Emmanuel, no, we don't need to go down that road again. No.
Oh, God, no.
No. It's me, Austin. It was me all along. God. That was so messed up. Oh, what the hell were they thinking then?
But it made a damn good meme, though.
The hell, man! Just drag him on a leash. Oh, God, hell no. What the hell? All right. Well, anyway. Yeah. So, bottom line, we are split down the middle, and the cash-in is highly potential. But we'll have to see soon enough. Either way, we know one thing for sure. Somebody's going to get payback and face Judgment out of this match. Whether it's Seth or a member of the Judgment Day, that remains to be seen. And JJ going way out there with the ultimate opportunist spot. What if Edge is still the leader? Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to say no. Because at this point, Edge is doing his own thing, and he's on SmackDown. Press but LOL, just saying. So, again, and right now, Judgment Day is only taken over Raw and NXT. They haven't bled into what we're about to talk about here when it comes to what the blue brand is and the on and relevancy. And again, for those that have been tuning in, I hope you're hyped. Hope you're excited. We love your takes. We love your thoughts. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend, give it a thumbs up. Follow us on all the social media platforms. We'd love to engage with you. We just are 4 simple friends, simple fans of all things wrestling and predict on everything too. That's why we're the Horsemen predictions. But that being said, while James has his fantasies under a red light, it is time to talk about what I think truly should be, or is going to be booked as, or what certainly feels like it has to be the closer, the big one, the main event, because it's much more than a championship on the line. It is a rite of passage, possibly, because this is not just a championship match. This is tribal combat. Acknowledge this shit. Tribal combat, the longest reigning modern era defending undisputed WWE Universal Champion, 4 digits now. The Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, goes one-on-one for the 3rd time ever against right-hand man previously, and the first one to fall in line when the bloodline was conceived during the damn pandemic. Now he rose solo, and he very well might have to face his younger brother solo. Jey Uso. Okay, guys. We've been on this ride the whole damn time since 2020. In and out of this thing. And Jey Uso has been the longest running character next to Paul Heyman, not named Roman Reigns, when it comes to this storyline. He now, simply put, on his own. He is the one. This isn't a match. This is tribal combat. I'm just going to say this. It pretty much means probably anything goes. Those tribal beads and that championship are on the line, and so much more here too. The bottom line is this. Will we finally acknowledge somebody else as the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion? Or is there still payback and hell to come at the hands of the Tribal Chief and the Wise Man and the Street Champ? Because I don't think Jimmy Uso is going to be a factor in this, unless it's afterwards. And I do wonder if there will be a standoff to see who truly the one is. Is it one and done here? Or as far as this chapter goes, are we just getting started? Chris, you've been the guy that has acknowledged Roman Reigns this entire damn time. Every time we talk about him, you always take the front position. That's not changing here. Your thoughts, do we get a new undisputed Universal Champion?
I love when you put me on the spot.
Acknowledge that. Go ahead, bro.
Well, the last time we were on this panel, all 4 of us, I went against Roman Reigns. And now we're talking about Roman Reigns here. Well, this is the match I'm looking forward to, is Tribal Combat. Now, is this going to be like no disqualifications, like false count anywhere, that type of stuff that's going to be involved, or what? Or we
No
don't know.
rules have been disclosed, just a subtle nod by the tribal chief that led to him spearing Jey Uso twice with Samoan Spike assist by Solo after Jey speared the man out of his boots Friday night. Yet he wasn't the last one standing.
So we don't really know any of the rules for tribal
No.
combat.
Not
I
a
think
single one.
I think it will possibly be like a no holds
Sorry,
barred match. It will be a similar type of no holds barred, no disqualifications. It'd be pinfall submission in the ring. They could take this all the way to the concession stance if they had to on Saturday.
Take it from freaking damn river.
Mean about the river, John Cena threw Edge in the river.
Yeah, but that was a different state. Not that we're trying to have a geography lesson here.
I say throw a hot dog at him.
Or a Slim Jim.
Yeah, or Slim Jim. There we go.
But overall, this is going to be it's going to be an awesome, it's going to be an entertaining match. With Jey Uso, yeah, he was the first guy to pin Roman Reigns when Roman debuted in the company.
Damn right.
Jey is the first guy to pin Roman at Money in the Bank. And the last guy that beat Roman at a pay-per-view and a premium live event was Baron Corbin.
That's crazy.
And now Jey finally ended that long stretch with Roman without getting pinned. He finally got pinned, and now Roman is beatable. We now know he's beatable.
Mm-hmm.
And Jey, yeah, he got that moment. He had his moment at Money in the Bank by pinning Roman Reigns, and personally, he got that moment. Now, at SummerSlam, I don't think Jey is going to be the one to dethrone Roman. Part of me am saying Jey has a chance. I'm saying Jey does have a chance, but Roman is going to win. I'm sticking to Roman. I'm locking Roman Reigns in right now. What comes after this, we know Roman's going to have Solo in his corner. I do believe Jimmy Uso is going to be coming back in this match, because what they did with Jimmy, when they took Jimmy out and rid him off of television, they wanted Jey to shine on this moment. Shine on with the match with Roman, see what Jey is all about. And personally, Jimmy's going to come and help him out. And personally, I hope Jimmy doesn't turn on Jey. Because if that does happen,
Jesus,
then we're going to get Jimmy versus Jey feud. And personally, that could happen down the road. That could happen. But it's not going to happen at Payback. I do believe Roman's winning. You end SummerSlam with Roman, Paul Heyman, and Solo Sikoa standing tall. Yeah, my mind was thinking Solo is going to turn on Roman. That could happen down the road, but the bloodline stuff is not ending. They're not at the 9th inning of this just yet. I think Solo's going to be the next one to leave Roman very shortly. Then after that, I feel in a way Paul Heyman is going to be the final one to leave. Paul's going to be the final guy to leave Roman all by himself on the island of relevancy. And then when we get to WrestleMania in Philadelphia, I'm going to call it right now. The winner of the Elimination Chamber match is going to be Cody Rhodes, where Cody Rhodes wins the chamber to get Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And I'm going to call it right now. Cody Rhodes is going to be the guy to dethrone Roman at WrestleMania next year in Philly.
Finishes the story in a city full of history, but as far as Saturday night, outer relevancy remains intact courtesy of the tribal chief through tribal combat. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at some thoughts here real quick. Solo should beat Roman. Roman can't lose the belt before the 9th inning. Can win it back in the 8th or whatever. Well, again, payback, you figure that maybe, that be the point where Roman Reigns goes savage, turns in a way after maybe losing it, and you get a different side of Roman, to say the least. At this point, Mark, again, we know Roman Reigns is human. After all, he showed his vulnerability when he got pinned by Jey Uso at Money in the Bank. First time since he became the tribal chief, we finally saw the man eat a damn decision, even in a tag team capacity. But at this point, does that defeat the purpose now in Cody Rhodes finishing the story? Because he's not the guy to really show that vulnerability first. At this point, is finishing the story just a summary? And is Cody Rhodes the one to actually do it? Or maybe it's blood that has to do it at this point, Mark. What's your thoughts on this? And if Jay is not the one to do it, like Sean Garner maybe asked, who do you maybe have to beat Roman Reigns, if ever? The floor is yours, my friend.
Being the Cody Mark that I am, I'm still hung up on him winning. So ultimately, I'm going to have him winning at WrestleMania 40, similar to what Chris just said. But he kind of touched on where I was heading, and I thought it was going to be a curveball out of nowhere. But I wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy came back, but he turned on his brother Jay. Honestly, I would not be surprised to see a Jimmy and Jay feud, because ultimately, Jay got his win when he pinned Roman. He's already got his badge. Okay, he's not going to get this too. He's not, and that's just my opinion. So Jay has to do something after this, right? So I feel like whether it's Solo or whether it's Jimmy, and I prefer Jimmy, I think they've actually said they didn't want to do a one-on-one program, but maybe things change. I think Jimmy costs Jay. I think Jimmy gets jealous. I think he's always been jealous. I think Jay's been trying to prove it to Jimmy, but this whole time, Jimmy's been jealous of Jay, and I think that's going to continue the story, and that also will lead Cody back to Roman. And I also think, as far as what Chris said, I think that Heyman will be the last one to probably leave Roman. And I wouldn't surprise me if he left Roman at Mania. So we'll see.
Well, fair enough. I mean, at one point, Jeff, again, we thought Roman was going to take time off, and it seems like he's done nothing of the sort, but he has preserved his long run, of course, as a champion. This whole idea of Jimmy versus Jay, I don't think it's ever even happened before. I mean, Jimmy, guys, he was the one that super kicked Roman at Night of Champions. Remember that, all right? I mean, seriously. He was the first one in the bloodline to pull the trigger before Jay, after Sammy was basically encouraging Jay, you have a personality, you don't need to take this abuse. I mean, James even said at one point, it's not bloodline, it's not family, it's a damn cult at this point when it comes to Roman Reigns. Solo Sikoa says he's no longer a younger brother, and truth be told, we have yet to really see Solo Sikoa in a singles program against his bloodline. He's been leading by example. He's the new right-hand man at this point for the Tribal Chief. So, Jeff, at this point, what way do you see this going? Does Jay get it done? What payback is to ensue? Will there be a survivor left standing? Who finishes the story? Can anybody take the title from Roman? Tribal combat, is it a rite of passage, or is it just a way for Roman to bury his family and his past once and for all? What's your take, Jeff?
Well, first of all, I think I saw a comment that you posted up that says that Solo cannot interfere. Am I correct?
Sean did say that, but again, at this point, do you really believe that?
Right. Do you remember when it was on one of the past shows I was with about the tribal court? I was talking about the tribal court.
Yes.
You remember on Meltdown? Okay. So tribal court, it would have made sense in my eyes, for the family that made Roman Reigns the head of the table to be there, being Alpha and Sika. and of course there was surroundings. There was rumors that maybe The Rock would show up, maybe Rikishi. The whole family was going to be there. That was rumored, and it never happened. What better time to have that happen than during this match? I think that if we didn't see it then, we should see it now. And if that's the case, you know damn well that the family is not liking where this is going. And they would want to put an end to this once and for all. And we would get a clear-cut winner and who would be the tribal chief. I think that with the storyline the way it's been going, and the just the way they are pushing Jay, in my mind, I don't see Jay losing this. I think you're going to see a brand new Universal Champion because he has been on a hot streak. His character has skyrocketed. And honestly, I think it's skyrocketed more than where Roman Reigns is at. And if Roman loses this match, first of all, there's his time off he needs. But then you would see Paul Heyman leave. You would see Solo leave. There would be no more bloodline. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Jey Uso, Roman Reigns started this. It needs to be Jey Uso, Roman Reigns to end this. Now, we know how it started with Roman winning. Only makes sense to have Roman lose against Jey at SummerSlam. With the family there as well.
Apparently,
so we could see The Rock. We could.
Oh.
We could for this whole family thing. We could see Offensica. We could finally see Rikishi. We could see the annoying family make a return like they did when they first put the Leia around Roman Reigns' neck. We could see them easily take it away.
Offensica take the beads away from the tribal chief and bestow it upon Jey Uso, who is now the new head of the table. Yep. Payback's a bitch, but it could be Solo Sikoa that seeks that retribution.
Could be.
My gosh. Ooh.
Could be. I said, you got so many angles at this. It's not even funny.
No,
Jay wins the title from Roman. Now you've got Solo versus Jay, which has already been going on as we speak anyway.
Yeah. It's been
but now you've got the added effect with that title. Say they have a great match. Say we have a clear-cut winner. Say it's Jay that wins. Cash in. Because you know damn well Solo's going to give him the spike after the match. There's lays a prone Jey Uso, a cash in, and you could have Damian Priest as being the champion.
And you
could. Yeah. You could.
You do remember what happened at WrestleMania 31, right? The family almost ripped Vince McMahon's throat out. Just saying. Mm-hmm. If they're at ringside, Damian Priest, I think, knows better than to piss off a bunch of Samoans.
Right.
It is one of those things, though, where I do think about everything has to come to an end. We compare the storyline to so many things, whether it was Godfather, Goodfellas, Shakespearean tragedy, the Julius Caesar, and Cody Rhodes, even the subtleness. He said, you will be a chief without a tribe. You'll be a man without a champion. Mm-hmm. You'll be some of a wise man. It's one of those things that I really do think at this point hasn't run its course. If nobody in WWE can beat Roman and they can't bring somebody from outside that used to be in WWE to beat Roman, why not Blood? And like you alluded to, the biggest character they've built, ironically, has Jey Uso since 2020 when he became the first one to fall in line. This is his first ever main event, top tier singles on a premium live event, and it's for not necessarily maybe the championship. It's proud to be the face of the WWE at this point, and he has all the makings that he very well could be. At this point, Roman has nothing else to prove. I don't think he has nothing else to gain. They made the merchandise. What's the biggest all right, I'm going to try and be JJ for a moment. Lord help me. The biggest thing for business. What's the biggest piece of merch you can move by the end of Saturday night? Jey Uso defeats Roman Reigns, new undisputed Universal Champion. That would probably crash WWEshop.com, if I'm being perfectly honest, because nobody could conceive that. Nobody at this point probably thinks that Roman Reigns would lose the title before WrestleMania. And even James said, Jay vs. Cody doesn't sound like a bad thing. By the way, folks, please stay tuned as James Hebert and JJ Williams will be on the call for this Saturday SummerSlam, as I will be there live to witness it. Am I going to witness the end to a story while Cody Rhodes has yet to finish his story? Am I willing to bet on that right now with Jey Uso? I think you've convinced me, Jeff, because looking at Payback, looking at his run, thinking about Survivor Series, that could be a whole different direction. Not War Games, not traditional, and you got Fastlane in between. Who gives a fuck? Let's be honest here, guys, all right? Why isn't it fall? Just saying. The Fastlane to what? At this point, if Jay doesn't beat Roman, does it still have the same effect if Cody beats Roman at WrestleMania when already we've seen Roman at a vulnerable state? He's already at the point that he's literally losing hairs. He's freaking speared Simone Spike the man last Friday night after Jay speared him first. Everything right now screams to me, even before Jeff was talking about it, I've been thinking about this all week, Jay needs to be the one to beat the Tribal Chief. And if you're not going to build this any other way but tribal combat, a rite of passage, passing the torch, quite fucking literally, then why? Why have this in the first place? I don't think you can make it any more bigger, any more personal, any more synonymous, any more poetic than this. I'm officially putting it out there right now. Jeff, I agree with you. I think Roman Reigns finally loses and we acknowledge a brand new undisputed WWE Universal Champion. Jey Uso becomes the new one, and Roman Reigns is finally done. We end the night with Jey Uso being acknowledged as new champion. I'm going with a new champ. This is going to be fucking insane, though. I don't even know what things going to come out of this. And again, what will Paul Heyman react to? How will Solo react to this? Will Jimmy show up, Mark? Will the family get involved? It's one of those things where you play like games like a freaking, Until Dawn or Detroit Only Human. It's a butterfly effect. At this point, though, you can't get any more of an effect than Jey Uso beating Roman. He already exposed his armor. He is vulnerable. Drop the health bar to 0. Jey Uso leaves SummerSlam as the new undisputed WWE Universal Champion. Acknowledge that. Golly. Well, I think we basically covered everything as possible when it comes to the Anali family and history to be made, and how much further this could go, and why it shouldn't go any further at this point. So unless anyone else has any last thoughts to add, I guess there's only one thing left to say. Everybody ready for SummerSlam Saturday night and for this crazy main event?
Yes. Can't wait.
And I think without further ado, we will leave things here and bid you all a fine adieu. And thank you for tuning into this exclusive Horsemen Predictions panel. Guys, it was 2 years in the waiting. It was 2 years definitely worth it. And I think Saturday we're going to finally see a moment, freaking 3 years in the making. But again, we'll see soon enough. But that being said, guys, always a pleasure. Let's not wait 2 more years to do this again. I hope everybody enjoyed the conversation as well. We also enjoyed you all tuning in and sharing your thoughts too. Please stay tuned tomorrow night for the official City Predicting panel Beyond the Horsemen here as the family in and out of FTW, the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Mia, and other members of the Nordic Galaxy too. Get involved with me and City Predicting on SummerSlam as well. Stay tuned for that. Guys, again, get that form in. Make it official. It's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Saturday night. Don't worry, chat. The form will be also in the comments down below once we, again, say goodbye to you all. And again, James with the subtle Big Show voice comment. I feel like he's more excited, though, and I think he's just not mentioning it. SummerSlam, baby. Woo! James, I expect that comment, that excitement when you're on video because he's going to be part of the tomorrow night, folks. That being said, guys, let's go ahead and bid ourselves a fine adieu, and everyone else too. Thank you again, folks, for tuning in. Put it up, guys. We always are forever the 4 horsemen of predictions. And good luck to you guys in the continuation of this league. You know I'm going to win. That being said, Mark, always a pleasure, man. Don't ever be a stranger when it comes to predictions or this channel or just engaging too. Is there any last thoughts you have regarding SummerSlam, and where can people find you?
You can find me like on all the team pages and pretty much on the round table, on the meltdown, and right here, 4 Horsemen predictions. So I don't really have anything to add, but Saturday needs to hurry up and get here.
Again, Chris, keep it short, sweet, and simple tonight, man. Any last thoughts regarding SummerSlam?
I don't have any last thoughts
We
on
burned him out.
SummerSlam, but where all you guys can find me at is on my X account. Is
Oh God,
it's
you're
uppercase
fired.
C. Sorry, it's uppercase C. Let me continue.
He said the fucking.
On my X account, it's uppercase C, lowercase ROTZ 24. Instagram, CMROTZ_6472. My Facebook is Christopher Rotz. My Discord is CRotz2423. My TikTok is Rotz_2423. My Snapchat is C_Rotz17. It's always been a pleasure. I'm glad that we finally got to do this again. We need to do more of this. Jeff, I am definitely looking forward to coming back on the round table again with you. Down
If I
the
have
road.
a voice, Jeff, I'll try and join you at some point too.
All right.
And the next time you'll be seeing us for a Simply Predicting panel won't be until we got Emergence and All In. So those are going to be the 2 biggest shows. But always just be positive. Enjoy life. And I can't wait for Saturday. Let's enjoy this weekend. And also say yes to NoDQ.com.
And Chris, X approves the message, by the way. Damn. I love that. X is going to give it to you. Jesus. Jeff, it looks like I gave it to you. I'm sorry.
Oh, my God.
I'm straight edge. That's the only X you need to know about me. Anything you want, we'll find you. And of course, shout out to Meltdown.
Yes, you find me over on Meltdown on Facebook. Let's see if I can get through this without freaking. I would give you my X account, but I haven't really been doing much on there. So, I mean, I'm pretty much going to deactivate that. But we are doing a lot on Meltdown. Yes, exactly. He looks sad. You can find me on the.
He works for Elon Musk now. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
Yes, no, you're good. As I said, you find me on Meltdown MWL. We're in season 5. We're at week 6, just before our little break. And we got our Heat Wave, MWL Heat Wave, which is SummerSlam. And that's coming up this weekend. So we may walk out with a new world champion as we see if the Blake Russell can take the title away from Lilith. Well, this is going to be interesting because this is a rematch from a few weeks ago that was just absolutely insane. Ended up in a tie. No, it's got to be a winner this time. But if I know, X gonna give it to you exactly. And if you want to join in, it's never too late. Feel free to contact me, and we'll set you up with a character that you want to portray. And we're going 40 weeks, guys. So, I mean, there's still a long ways to go. We go right up to WrestleMania 40. So hit me up there. You can also check us out on the interwebs at www.mwl.webador.com. We actually have a website now, which is awesome. It's always updated, although I've got to update the points. I haven't done that yet. Way too busy this week. But we will not have a round table this weekend as I will be out on vacation. And it is my birthday weekend, so screw it. I'm not doing it. So we got this week off. We will be back next week, and we will talk SummerSlam on the Wrestling Roundtable. So make sure to check us out, whether it be on Meltdown, and we also are on Forever Boston Sports and Freshly Squeezed Grand Prix.
Got to give the people what they want.
That's right.
I don't have enough time. I already host enough leagues as it is, let alone participate in some like Pittsburgh Meltdown. Yes, I'll definitely try and join you on the post SummerSlam roundtable to give you my live experience if I witness the history of the fall of the Island of Relevancy as a new guard takes the chief position. Bye, Paul Heyman. But we'll see soon enough. But again, guys, been a great project, been a great time as always. Good luck to all of us here at the predictions, and always let's just keep going on with it. And thank you everybody for tuning in to this special little exclusive Simple Brand exhibition. And from one fellow to another, a fellow Leo, might I add, because he also is an August boy. There's a happy birthday, Jeff from Castle Studios, JJ Williams.
Awesome.
And thanks for the friggin' comment on the letter. That letter is going to get freaking crossed. Oh, wait, it is a cross. Never mind. I'm going to leave that alone. Yeah, across a different story. I'm just going with that. Anyway, if you want to know more about me aside of that, know this, for I am but a simple man and a lifelong fan of, wait, what's the word? Let me think about it. There's many ways you could talk about it. There's many similar things. Just give me a second.
It's right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Professional wrestling, damn it! But I digress. As always, you can find me on the social media, primarily Twitter, damn it, and YouTube. And in Foster 1916 for all things wrestling. Shout out, of course, the entire ATW family on the Twitter and our social media platforms as well. We'll be back soon with another ATW View, probably an ATW View special, an AEW retrospective, because it was AEW that brought ATW together in the first place and kept us alive through the pandemic. So I'm going to see if I get a hold of the family and create something there with James, King, maybe Eric, maybe Lex. Good luck in the Street Fighter Tournament, pal. Maybe it's Cindy for that matter, too. You can find me always talking about All Elite Wrestling on AEW Spark with Owen or Zero, or you can find those two hosting at times when I'm unavailable, a weekly conversation that covers all things All Elite Wrestling. As previously alluded to, it will be the Renegade, JJ Williams of Castle 18 Studios. Please follow him at Castle 18 Studios on the social medias, YouTube, Instagram, and the Twitter. Go check out the members only page and the exclusive content there, including art coverage of the first ever Money in the Bank ladder match and Crash In by good old JM, Jeff Meacham. He also has been covering the best NXT, my NXT, the black and gold NXT forever. So go check that out as well. Check out the latest affiliate, of course, the Jeff Meacham Network from Mia Datilla. She'll be a part of the Predicting tomorrow night. She gives you coverage and reviews on all the weekly shows wrestling, just like Aaron Riff does on No DQ. And also a little bit of Power Rangers, too. With it being Power Rangers month, she's going to be morphing up her content for sure this time. So stay tuned for more of that. Again, shout out to the entire Sleep Predicting family. I appreciate all of you, not just the Horsemen, not just No DQ, not just FTW, ATW. Of course, I'm also talking about the WG Network, too. I'm looking forward to seeing who we have tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live for Simply Predicting. You never know who'll be part of the six-pack fun, and if there will be somebody that might crash the party. Also, stay tuned. That's Simply Predicting. It's not laying up anytime soon, as Chris alluded to. After tomorrow, we go towards Motivation United 2. Lord help me. AEW All in London, Emergence, Payback, AEW All Out, 50 Road, and Fastlane, because that's a thing. Also, I need to change that out because, as we learned, damn this NXT! They added No Mercy prior to that. Dadgummit. And, of course, after these Super Predictings, when it comes to the biggest shows in all things wrestling, you'll find me, JJ, and James sometimes with a simple take. An extended post-show conversation and coverage and review of the show after it concludes. And if you haven't already figured it out, if you want to see more of the shenanigans that will go out and about this channel and more, check out JJ Williams, who deals with his own hodgepodge of characters and oddities every week with the Saturday Night Shenanigans that are Open Mic Night. There's a lot of fun coming up with that, too, including karaoke at my damn expense, as well as game shows and other further wrestling conversations, too. And that's just some of the stuff coming up here on my Simple Brand and the WWE Multiverse of Mia 2, along with continued G1 Climax coverage, because, again, I'm crazy. And there's no rest in this industry, and it's not laying up anytime soon. But, as always, woo. As always, I'd like to conclude, there are no winners, there are no losers, there are no betters. Just fans with opinions for this passion we all share. And at the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too, treasure your families, and just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. It is truly as simple as that. With that being said, thank you so much, everybody. Once again, whether you prefer the ride the whole time or just for part of it, for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Give it a thumbs up to know when this video goes live on demand on this channel. give it a thumbs up, give it a subscribe, help me keep growing this YouTube community. It's not leaving anytime soon as I approach my 5th year in YouTube content creativity this October. And again, I've been loving the ride, and I'm not getting off the track anytime soon. But on behalf of the Horsemen of Predictions, why zero question it, outpredict us, acknowledge us, and get back to me, bruh, in your Fug style. Again, guys, we're still heavily all in this race. Anything can happen, but no, I'm kicking y'all's asses right now. Good luck to you guys this weekend at SummerSlam. And again, to anybody that's part of the fun, whether you're part of No DQ's leagues, whether you're part of my leagues, whether you're part of Jets leagues, whether you're part of Mark's teams, whether you're part of Chris's social medias, or whether you're part of my simple commentary coverage and fun. We look at all things wrestling. So again, keep in tune with us as we always try to make an impact, keep it honorable and go all elite, or keep you guys a taste of sports entertainment and see what is being built through Nil and beyond in WWE and NXT as we look at all things wrestling. On behalf of the Horsemen, thank you once again for tuning in. So until next time, as it is Thursday night, and you know what that means. Treat it with honor and make a positive impact in life and have a good night. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Good luck to the 4 of us. And thank you guys for tuning in once again to a simple video on the Horsemen of Predictions. Have a good night, folks.